It is 6 p.m. on Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. I will call this meeting of the Miami Township, Montgomery County Board of Trustees to order. Could you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll. Mr. Morris.
Here.
Mr. Posey.
Here.
Mr. Culp.
Here.
Chief Stegelmeyer, reading of casualties.
Good evening, Board. The following is a list of first responder casualties for the period of June 7th through June 20th of 2023. Chief Anthony Rickerson, Jasper Police Department, Florida, end of watch June 11th, 2023. K-9 Aaron, Houston Police Department, Texas, end of watch June 12th, 2023. Officer Mark Christopher Wagner II, Wintergreen Police Department, Virginia, end of watch June 16th, 2023. And Trooper Jaquez Rouget Jr., Pennsylvania State Police, Pennsylvania, end of watch June 17th, 2023.
Everyone, please join me in recognizing a moment of silence. Thank you. We have no guests or presentations. I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris.
Aye.
Mr. Posey.
Aye.
Mr. Culp.
Aye.
Chief Stegelmeyer, motion for liquor permit.
Again, Board, in your packets was a liquor transfer permit from the Forest Hospitality Group doing business as Hilton Garden Inn at 1200 Innovation Drive. They'd like to transfer that to the CHG Austin Landing Group, LLC, doing business also as Hilton Garden Inn at the same location. This transfer is involving a D5A and a D6 permit, and for the Board's information, the D5 is a hotel or motel with 50 or more rooms, and the D6 is sale of intoxicating liquor on Sunday between the hours of 10 or 11 a.m. until midnight. We find no reason to oppose this transfer, and I'm glad to answer any questions.
Mr. Snyder, you have resolutions 54, 55, and 56.
Good evening, Board. The first resolution tonight is regarding a project called the Safety Town Project. You have information in your packet tonight on that project. This partnership between Miami Township, the Miami Township Police Department, and the City of Miamisburg School District. This project will provide an opportunity for our youth in our community to learn traffic laws and other life skills in a safe environment in partnership with the Miami Township Police Department. Safety Town is a set of structures that were donated to us from the Life Enrichment Center last year. We've been working with the Miamisburg City School District for some time to find a location for this site at Jane Chance Elementary School. And in partnership with Miami Crossing JED, they are going to provide the majority of the funding to get this project installed. So with that, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to go over that. The authorization tonight is to authorize an agreement between Miami Township and the Miamisburg City School District for the long-term maintenance and operation of this program. So are there any questions on that?
Should this be approved, is there a timeline for installation?
As soon as we can get the contractors out there, pour the pad and get the fence installed, and then our Public Works Department will be relocating the structures from the current Public Works facility site over to Jane Chance Elementary. So I would anticipate in the next
They're building a
2
new
months.
pad, so it'll be brand new.
Brand new pad.
Brand new pad.
Yes.
Great.
The second resolution tonight is regarding the Human Resources Coordinator position. We are proposing to retitle the position of Compliance Coordinator to the Human Resources Coordinator. I believe this will better align the actual tasks of this role with the job description and title of the position, and therefore we are recommending a change in that title. We do have an existing Compliance Coordinator, and we anticipate her continuing in the role as the Human Resources Coordinator, and we have proposed a wage rate for this position, which is in the resolution. So, if there are any questions on that position, I'd be happy to go over that. The final resolution tonight regards the police chief's wage adjustment. After completing a review with the board and an evaluation of compensation, I'm recommending an increase in the salary for the police chief, and that is in the resolution with the information in your packet. So, if there are any questions, be happy to go over those, but that's those three resolutions tonight. So.
Chief, are you in agreement with that resolution? Okay, just want to make sure. Want to make sure our chief is on board. Mr. McCord, Resolution 57.
Good evening, Board. Resolution 57-2023 is an amendment to the appropriations of funds for the calendar for fiscal year 2023. In your packet is a cover memo explaining, detailing out the actual total amounts. It'd be $50,000 from the general fund for unanticipated legal expenses related to ongoing litigation that we didn't anticipate at the time we put the budget together back at the end of last year. $38,000 from the American Rescue Plan ARP fund for some audit-related expenses because of the expenditures of federal funds, and a project to migrate the accounting system to the VIP, the cloud, for security and resiliency for the department and the township. And then $35,000 from the federal forfeitures account, number 225, for additional legal expenses related to police department litigation, and $30,000 from the state forfeitures fund, number 226, for the replacement of some HVAC equipment that I believe is 28 years old, and it expired recently. So we solicited quotes. We think $30,000 will replace and make the detectives' workplace a little bit more palatable. And with that, have any other questions? I'd be happy to answer it.
Hearing none, we will move to the public comment portion of this meeting. This is the portion of the meeting where any resident of Miami Township is invited to share your thoughts with the board. Know that your time has been set aside for the board to listen to you. Your comments are valued, will be taken into consideration. The board will not engage in dialogue at this time. Presentations are limited to 5 minutes each. Does anyone wish to come forward for public comment? Could-
Oh, well, I apologize. I didn't realize that was scheduled for tonight, so we can certainly reschedule, or if, how much information did you want to go over?
I just was going to answer questions. We sent a letter out to you guys, and somebody reached out to me after
Okay.
the meeting to talk about sewage operation permits and what your residents are to be
Okay.
expecting in the next, after July.
Well, it's a pleasure of the board if you'd like them to come up briefly and go over that item, so.
Please come forward.
So,
If you could please restate, make sure the microphone's on, and then restate your name and the organization you represent for those who might be watching online.
hi, I'm Jason Turner. I'm with Public Health. I'm a senior manager in the Special Services Environmental Health Division. We are going to restart the SOP or sewage operation permit that's required through the state. It was discontinued in 2015 when they changed the rules. And then we were gearing up to do it again, then COVID hit and the tornado hit, so we hadn't got around to it. We're slowly
So are the fees that you mentioned a change from prior to COVID?
No, I think they're the same.
They're roughly the same.
Yeah, they haven't been moved.
So if I'm understanding what you're saying is there's always been a permitting process. You have to have a permit to run a household sewage treatment system, but we've not basically gone out and done any inspections since COVID.
Actually, before COVID, the rules came out in 2015. They made a bunch of changes in the code. So we were adjusting our things to work with the code. So, and then COVID hit and the tornado hit. So we kind of had to throw our forces or all our efforts into other places. So we are slowly starting to roll it out again.
So I think I heard you said you know of two of this older type of system that you're gonna,
It's not an older type of system. It's a system that pre-treats the waste and then discharges it into either a river or a ditch. And there are two of those in Miami Township.
That is correct, but it is under an EPA permit.
So yeah, if you get that type of system, it's something that we don't want to do that frequently, and then you have to have an EPA permit to even have it.
and so are there other systems that will be permitted in the township, or are those the only two?
No, those are the ones we're gonna tackle first, because those are the ones that are most potential of failing and causing an issue. The next systems we're looking at are ones that, have mechanical and pre-treatment systems in them, which is your newer type systems, but we're looking at those, starting with the oldest first, and then we move forward. But every sewage treatment, or a septic system should be tested and will be tested. It's gonna be a long time for us to get to all of them. There's several, I'm thinking maybe over a 10-year span, we'll hopefully get all of them in Montgomery County.
Very good.
Do you have an estimate of how many septic systems there are in the Miami Township?
Do you know the Miami Township itself?
For the county, it could be thousands.
Sure.
Miami Township, I would say hundreds.
I have one, so I'll look forward to your letter. Yeah.
We'll get to you.
You're first on the list, Posey.
Yeah, that's okay. I had it pumped out a few years ago. Should be fine.
Well, if it's not failing, that's the main thing we're concerned about is that they're
Sure.
not failing. So we're gonna be looking at the systems that like I said, have those mechanical things that need maintenance. Yeah, that need maintenance versus the gravity systems. We'll soon we get through the first mechanical ones, and then we'll look at the really old gravity systems
Okay.
to make sure that they're not failing. So I'm
Great.
not sure what type of system you have.
I've replaced the pump at least twice, if that's
Okay,
if that's a
so
mechanical type.
mechanicals, yeah, you probably have all the paperwork anyway, because you had to replace the pumps, they had to
Sure.
go out and look at it, so.
Very good. Thank you for sharing this information with us. Sorry for the confusion in the agenda.
If you have a question, you can give us a call. Do you need anybody want one of my cards?
Please.
I got one here.
Perfect.
If you want, or maybe four. Anybody else want one besides 3 people?
We can make copies.
Okay, all right. Thank you, thank you for your time.
Good evening, Board. Matthew Turkey, 6600 Jamaica Road. You guys may want to stay and listen for a second with the two individuals who just presented. I'm not here to bug or get in anybody's business again. I'm in the process of just continuing
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Anyone else wishing to make a public comment? All right, seeing none, we will close the public comment period and move to consideration and vote on resolutions and motions. I will make a motion to approve the liquor permit transfer to CHG Austin Landing at 12,000 Innovation Drive. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 54-2023, a resolution to authorize an agreement for the Safety Town project. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
I'll make a motion, we adopt resolution number 55-2023, a resolution to retitle a compliance coordinator position to human resources coordinator and to establish a pay range.
I will second. Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 56-2023, a resolution to authorize a salary increase for the police chief. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 57-2023, a resolution to approve amendments to the appropriation of funds for 2023. Is there a second?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye.
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
Our public hearing, zoning case 374-05 was withdrawn. There is no public hearing scheduled. Department head comments. Chief Stegelmeyer. Mr. Schweikert.
Good evening, Board. I just wanted to take a moment and recognize a milestone achievement by our administrative technician over at Public Works. Adrienne Bell is celebrating her 30-year anniversary tomorrow on June 21st. She started in 1993 with Harold Myers and has worked under 5 different Public Works directors. She's a vital part of our success that we have at Public Works, from daily interactions with the community to handling our financial operations. I'd like to thank Adrienne for her commitment to our organization and dedicated service to the community.
Thank you. Mr. Carlson. Mr. McCord. Ms. Bogner.
Don't have anything tonight, sir.
Mr. Snyder.
Just a quick note for the board, there is an MCTA meeting this Thursday, June 22nd at 4 p.m. if you're interested.
I will be in attendance. Thank you. Elected officials. Mr. Klingerman.
No comment this evening?
Mr. Culp.
No comment.
Mr. Posey.
Yeah, I'd just like to again thank Mr. Turton for coming out to explain what's going on and discuss for those of you listening online that while the township did achieve an injunction against the operation of this facility this time last year, the enforcement of that injunction is limited to the judge. And the judge in that case imposed a $50,000 sanction against Mr. Powlett, which was not enough to deter him from continued activity. Last month, the township's attorneys did file a motion to show cause again, which is subject to some procedural hearings and issues, but we are continuing to attempt to enforce the injunction with the judge. There are a number of orders in place, some scheduling hearings, but unfortunately it's not moving as fast as we may prefer in this process. It's not something that we are simply ignoring. It is something that we are at the discretion of the judge, and it does appear that the judge is cognizant of the issues because each of the motions we've filed since May 16th has been routinely granted fairly quickly. When that results in an additional or appropriate injunction remains to be seen, but the process is moving forward, if not at the speed we would prefer.
Thank you, sir. I would just like to comment that I'm very pleased to have seen Resolution 54 to authorize the agreement for the Safety Town project. I was instrumental in introducing the township to the opportunity from the Life Enrichment Center for those materials to be donated. And it's great to see that this is coming to our community. For those of you who don't know what Safety Town is, it was described a little bit before, but it's a series of structures that allow children to be in a simulated situation on how to interact with traffic. So there are stop signs and street signals, and they can ride their bikes, and there can be a lot of good lessons taught to make sure our kids are safe on our streets while they're in elementary school. So very excited to see that moving forward. With no other business, I will be making a motion to go into executive session in a moment. We will be adjourning out of executive session, taking no further action. So with that, at 6:24, I will make a motion to adjourn to executive session for conferences with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving that public body that are subject to pending or imminent court action in accordance with ORC 121.22 subsection G3, and to consider matters required to be kept confidential by federal law or regulations or state statutes in accordance with ORC 121.22 section G5. Is there a second to go into executive session?
I will second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Morris?
Aye?
Mr. Posey?
Aye.
Mr. Culp?
Aye.
Again, we will adjourn from executive session with no further action. Thank you all.